Hi everyone and welcome to JHT. Today we're going to be looking at the front hairline, in particular the money piece, which is creating that brighter piece at the front of the head. So what you're going to be doing is sectioning off the hair from the corner of each eye back towards the parting by about 1 inch to 2 inches deep, creating a triangular section at the front of the head, as you can see here. Once you've done that, what you're going to be doing is taking a slice section at the very front, which is going to be like a baby light size. Clip that hair out of the way, and this section is going to be too wide to put into one foil, so you're going to split that down the middle and you're going to place a foil underneath your section. You want them to be quite fine sections because you want it to be quite close to the root and you don't want it to be pushed away by too much hair in there. So flatten it down, make sure it's nice and close to the root, and then place your lightener a little bit away from the root. Saturate, so use that first bit of lightener to stick the hair, then saturate the mid-lengths and ends, making sure they are well covered so you don't get any patchiness, or you get an even coverage all the way through. Then work your way back up towards the root and feather that hairline in, making sure it's still nice and covered because you want that to be nice and bright through there. So if you need to, add a little bit more lightener and then feather that back up towards the scalp. So if you saw what I did there, I reversed my brush and I feathered it back upwards instead of coming down. And then there's another technique where you angle your brush and use the corner of the brush just to feather that line in. Because we're at the hairline, I am going to fold my foils twice so that they're out of the client's eyes. Normally I wouldn't. I like to keep my foils nice and loose, not too many folds, but with the hairline piece you do want to fold them a little bit to keep it out of the client's eyes, but I still keep them nice and loose so that you're not creating any marks or lines through your section. You're going to continue that to the other side, and then you're going to take another section above that and do the same again. So you're going to have two sections very close to the root, creating that nice brightness. If you want it slightly thicker, you would do this a third time, but I'm going to just do 2 sections, and then the next one I'm going to do a very, very fine baby light, taking most of the hair up into my section, not leaving too much out. Some people do a backcombing section here, but I don't like backcombing sections, so what I do is I do a baby light, but making sure I take up a lot of hair. Do the same again, use a bit of lightener to stick the hair down, saturate the mid-lengths and ends, and then feather up. From now on, each time you feather up, you're going to start to feather from further down so that you're starting to create a bit more depth in your money piece section. So before, you were going right to the scalp. This time I came down by about 1 inch and feathered up from there. So that depth will now start. I'm now taking slightly bigger sections, still small enough that I can baby light because I don't want them too thick, but I am taking slightly bigger because that will also help with creating a bit more depth through that money piece section. Again, you need to baby light, taking more hair in your section than leaving out. As you can see, a really fine section of hair is being left out. Place the foil underneath your section. Flatten it down at the edges to make sure that it's nice and close. use a bit of lightener to stick, saturate the mid-lengths and ends, making sure there's a really nice even coverage all the way through your section. And then again, I've come down from the root about 1.5 inches this time, and then I'm going to direct my brush back up towards the hair to feather that in, leaving more depth at the root. Okay, so you're going to continue that through the next couple of sections. The section is slightly bigger than your first few sections. You're bringing it further down, so you're at 1 inch before, then 1.5 inches, then bring it down 2 inches and feather up. If it looks like it's getting a little bit much at the top, you can always use your finger and just spread that colour back down towards the mid-lengths and ends, and then continue on. So I've placed 7 foils in my money piece. 4 packets were close to the root, then I moved up to a baby light and brought the depth further away from the root each time. And then you finish, just push up your foils slightly, fold them up slightly to keep them out of the client's eye, and clip that hair out the way and leave to develop. And you are left with this beautiful brightness around the front. Obviously I've only done the front piece on this, so what you would then do is continue on with your balayage, bring it down in a nice teardrop shape so you've got a lot of depth around the back, and then you have that lovely beautiful brightness, but you've kept it very natural because you've feathered in at the root and created depth the further back on in your money piece you've gone.